Christmas comes once every 12 years for me. The British and Irish Lions versus South Africa is Christmas to me. Green and red, the perfect colors, just beautiful to watch. It's better than Christmas because I actually get joy watching this than dealing with my relatives on Christmas Day. But this game had so many questions that everybody wanted to see answers to, and we finally got it. Is Springboks still good? Yes. Is Springboks a bit rusty after almost 2 years of not playing international rugby? Or high-level international rugby? Yes. And is Warren Gatland a genius? Yet to be determined. So this game. Okay, a lot of talking points in this game. First up, I think everybody's screaming at the TV. Still, is a really poor refereeing. The Australian and New Zealand referees really put us in a bad spot, making, I'm quite frankly a little bit embarrassed by the Australian-New Zealand referee combinations. The TMO sounded like he was a South African. Let me know, because his accent sounded like he was South African. Do they have a South African TMO? The TMO made some really questionable decisions here. So first of all, the referee, Nick Barry, on the field, he missed like a lot of stuff. It's just like knock-ons, like he's missed, and then the game like played on, and then they have to go back for the knock-on many times. He just like missed stuff. And he made wrong decisions left and right, like game-changing wrong decisions. Like there was one where South Africa almost scored, and Mario Toji like turned the ball over while he was like kneeling onto like a player on the ground, like he wasn't supporting his weight. So that was clearly a penalty, and the referees just like called it like against the South Africa. So it was really poor for Nick Barry. You can tell he was under a lot of pressure and he was like out of his element. But yeah, and then the TMO, he's like the 16th player on the field for South Africa, right? There was a try that was awarded to South Africa where Peter Steph Toy went to catch the ball like off his bootlaces, and it looked like he flicked the ball up, but the ball like went between his legs and fell backwards. Okay? It was really fishy. It looked like he knocked on, right? The TMO showed that footage once, just once, at a very like ambiguous kind of angle, and the TMO goes, yep, inconclusive that he knocked on, and yeah, I gave South Africa a try. Really poor, because pretty sure if he touched the ball at any point, which it looked like he did, even if it's gone backwards, he had no control of the ball, that is still a knock-on. As we saw, Reece Zammit did that in the England game, where he like dropped the ball backwards onto his foot, and the referee given the try, but later on the referee corrected that was a knock-on. This is a very similar, but it's like he kind of tried to catch the ball on his like near his bootlaces, and he fumbles the ball kind of like backwards, and like his like hit his heel basically. Can't like similar to that. Like I can't even tell you how it is because I've only seen it like twice because the TMO didn't want to show it. There were so many decisions that was made on this field. The TMO didn't show. Like after the decisions made and the game played on, and then they show the TMO like after the game's played on. It's really weird and really annoying because you wanted to see one of the tries from for the Lions team. I believe it was for the Lions team. Looked like Furlong knocked on, and like the TMO didn't show anything and just decided that it was a try. And then after everything's done, then they showed a replay. So it was really fishy TMO for both ways, both for and against, for the Springboks and for the Lions. Really poor. And then anyway, enough about the referee. We'll go through the details a bit later on, but let's get on with some positive stuff. So the Springboks had a really excellent first half. It was almost perfect for first half. The kicking game was excellent, a lot of pressure, and Faf de Klerk was really good with his kicks, and perfect goal kicking from Pollard. He just looked like a god. He looked like he can kick the ball anywhere you want inside the 50, no problems. He looked absolutely untouchable in the first half. There was, and then the Lions on the other side were struggling almost everywhere. The scrums were struggling a little bit. They were giving away like technical penalties. I would say the Lions scrum in the first half looked about even, maybe slightly stronger than the South African scrum, but they were just like getting like technically penalized, like falling, collapsing, like slipping and stuff. Just it wasn't very good, the scrums. So South Africa came out ahead in the scrums in the first half. Oh, and also Wyn Jones was injured going in this game, so Wyn Jones was off, and Vunipola is on the bench. And who was it that came in for Wyn Jones? Rory Sutherland came off the bench to the starting, and Vunipola was on the bench. And Sutherland did struggle a little bit as well in the scrummaging in the first half. And also in the first half, the lineouts were terrible for the Lions. They lost like 2 lineouts, maybe could have been 3. Like there was a lineout where they threw the ball and nobody jumped. Like it was appalling, the first lineout. The first half, I think they lost there was at least 3 lineouts that was mistaken as making 3 lineouts, and there was a lot of penalties as well in the first half. So Springboks were 12 points to 3 ahead, just based on the penalties given away by the Lions. Really poor. Second half, the Lions really lifted, and the Boks just looked like they were probably a bit too comfortable in the position that they were in, being 12 points to 3 up. So they look really comfortable. Pola's kicking started falling off, like it was just missing kicks, like really easy kicks as well. Faf de Klerk's kicking, box kicking, and on-field territory kicking has been bit off as well. And the Springboks attack just genuinely looked a bit flat in the second half as well. Only Demian Delende was able to kind of get over the gang line. Most of the players were just getting pushed back in attacking, so they're not even going forward, going backwards in attack. And a lot of small errors just compounded to just slowly losing all of the momentum to the Lions, basically. And the Lions on the outside really lifted the level. They decided to not kicking for goal as much, so they were able to actually get tries out of their lineouts by not kicking goals in kicking ball range, which was really good to see. And then when they did kick, Bigger were able to land every kick. And when Owen Farrell came on, so he was able to land his kick as well. He only had 1 kick for Owen Farrell. And defense was just spectacular. Literally pushing, gaining territory when you're defending you can't really up better than that. And the scrum was much, much better in the second half. Especially when the English props came on, it was just steady. And Vunipola actually won a tight head against Malherbe in the second half. Really proving that he deserved to be in the team. So, yeah, the Lions really had a much better performance in the second half, and Springboks really, really struggled. So, overall, the stats are pretty similar. In the end, 1 try seized, 245 meters for the Springboks, 256 for the Lions. In the first half, the Springboks was leading the Lions in the run meters. The Springboks was up 161 run meters to 99 in the first half. So the Springboks really let themselves down in the second half as well. And I'm pretty sure Springboks had more carries than Lions as well, by a lot, by a big margin. There was 4 turnovers conceded in the first half of the Springboks to the Lions 6, and second half 12 to 12 turnovers conceded, right? So by being, so they conceded way more turnovers in the second half in the South African side than the Lions. Also in the first half, the Springboks made 43 tackles and missed 13, whilst the Lions had 56 tackles and missed 8. And in the second half, you can see that the Springboks made more tackles and they missed 19. So the tackles actually got better in the second half for the Springboks, whereas the Lions kind of maintained the same ratio, 56 to 108, 8 missed tackles to 15. So it got a bit better, about the same for the Lions, but the defense did improve a little bit in terms of tackling for the Springboks. And the kicking has been similar in both first half and second half. First half, the Springboks had 20 kicks to the Lions 17. So literally both teams did the exact same amount in both halves in terms of kicking. And goal kicking was perfect for Springboks in the first half. And I'm pretty sure they missed every kick in the second half. Pollard missed. And whilst it's kind of like the opposite for the Lions, they got 2 missed in the first half and got all the kicks in the second half. So it was quite a big turnaround. And then see the stats here. It says the Lions has 2 lineouts lost. Technically, they had 3 lineouts lost. But there was one where they lost the lineout, but the Springboks knocked on. So that didn't count. But they actually had 3 lineouts lost in the first half. Much tidier in the second half and managed to correct that issue there. Penalties conceded. 6 penalties to the South Africans in the first half, to the 7 to the Lions. And Lions had 1 penalty in the second half to 8. So Lions really tidied up and didn't give up the penalties as they did in the first half. Whereas the Springboks went from 6 penalties in the first half all the way ticked up to 14. So they gave away 8 penalties in the second half. More penalties in the second half than the first. Whilst the Lions only gave away 1 penalty in the second half. Very, very big turnaround for the Lions. And they really truly deserve this win. I don't know what to say, but yeah. Anyway, let's go through the details of the game. So right from the start, there was a lot of like hard hitting as you would expect. And for about 6 minutes, it was like just perfect play. There was a big shot from Kawaga Smith at Van der Merwe at the beginning. It looked like he wanted to take him. It looked like a shoulder charge. There was a big shot from Lukamyo on, I think it was on Dan Bigger. Yeah, there was a massive shot from Lukamyo to Dan Bigger. Oh no, to Daly. Massive shot from him to Daly. And then and it was just big shots left and right, and both teams were just playing pretty much perfectly for the first 6 minutes or so. It's up to the 7th minute, the first penalty was given against the Lions for offside, and then it was till the 9th minute, it was the first scrum. Okay? And the first scrum went bad for the Lions. Short arm penalty for it was a full on penalty. It was a full on penalty for, I think it was collapsing the scrum for sleeping. And then the South Africa took the South Africa took the line out penalty. Yeah, sorry. South Africa had a scrum advantage. So no, sorry. They didn't collapse. They actually got pushed back. Sutherland was actually struggling the first scrum, got pushed back, and they completely got demolished. And the Springboks played advantage, and the advantage, right, went for like 15 meters, and the referee called like one phase, literally like one phase, went for about 15 meters, and referee called advantage over. And the Springboks were like furious, like, are you kidding me? Like they went, yeah, it was really bad. Like it literally went like 15 meters, and the Springboks kicked the ball away, and the referee called advantage over. It was awful, referee. So that was the poor referee there. And second scrum came at 11th minute. Again, the Lions were penalized for early engagement, only a short arm, but still, another scrum mistake for the Lions. And 13th minute, there was just some really beautiful kicking from South Africa's, especially from Faf. Faf de Klerk was able to really ping the Lions down in their own 22 with these box kicks. Eventually, the South Africa were able to pile in some pressure just outside the Lions 22. And Tom Curry was looking really frustrated actually. Got caught for not rolling away after making a tackle. Right in front, 35 minutes out. Pollard nails this one. First 3 points on the ball, 13 minutes into the game. 5 minutes later, around 17th, 18th minute, Faf de Klerk gets the ball just around his 40-meter line. He kicks the ball out down to the Springbok side. And Tom Curry was running to a charge down. But, like, he was clearly late, right? And he just looked frustrated. And he puts a shoulder charge on the Faf de Klerk after he's already kicked the ball. So, again, the referee is, like, played on. And then the TMO calls the referee saying that it was a late tackle. But when you watch it, it was clearly a shoulder charge. But, yeah, I mean, this could have been... okay, whatever. But it was late tackle and it was no arms. Shoulder charge on Faf. So anyway, so the fact that the ball was kicked out inside the Lions 22, Springboks were able to, because the fact that it was kicked and the penalty was given, during the kick, so the Springboks were able to pick from whether the ball landed or where the ball was kicked. So the Springboks obviously picked where the ball landed and opt for another 3 points. And this was about 50 minutes in, 35 minutes out. Pretty much the same place from the first kick. Springboks announced this one. 100 Pollard, easy kick, 6 points to nil, 6 points to nil, 17 minutes into the game, okay? And then 2 minutes later, the Lions strikes back. There was a bunch of play in the midfield. The Lions were just putting some pressure just inside the Springboks 50, around the 40 meters out. Damien Delande rushed up too early, penalty. And I think this is one of the things where Nick Barry missed it, and the sideline calls in, goes, it was offside. Then Nick Barry goes, hang on, we're offside call. Then that goes back. It was just really bad. He missed that. Yeah, so anyway, it was just really confusing. Like, when the referee himself is confused, as the viewer, you're even more confused, right? So anyway, 40 meters out, Bigger gets this kick. Quite a long kick, but straight in front. 6 point to 3, 20 minutes in. The Lions gets on the ball for the first time. 22 minutes in, there was a line out for the Springboks around just inside the Lions 40. And there was a really beautiful line out. They set up a maul, and the maul went forward like quite a bit. It went all the way up to the 22-meter line. And Sio Khaleesi peels off the maul, and he ran like another 20 meters, and he just got tackled about 5 meters out. Like, just inside of 5 meters, like 2 meters out, right? And a bunch of Springboks were piles in. Maori Toje was on his knees, okay? Puts his hands on the ball. Referee calls a penalty. And Faf was just like pointing at his knee, like he's on his knee, The referee still gave the penalty for the Lions. Faf is pissed off, gets up, pushes everyone, starts shoveling everyone, throwing the ball away, throwing a bit of fit. And then again, the referee made a wrong decision. And then they show the replays. Clearly, his knees was one of his knees was on the ground. It wasn't like on the ground. It was on Sio Khaleesi's like foot. So he was technically still like on the ground. But it was really poor call from the referee. And that was a try saver. So if that was if he didn't do that, the Springboks probably would have scored, or at least got a 3-pointer from that. So that was really, really poor refereeing, getting them out of trouble for Mario Itoje. Took the risk and he paid off, I guess. And then 2 minutes later, the Lions were on the attack again. They were trying to get themselves out of their own 40-meter line. And then one of the players gets tackled, and no one was there at the breakdown. So Nayake, the prop, gets over the ball and then sealed it off. Lions got penalized just inside their own 22. A little bit of an angle, but Pollard, this was still, like, Pollard just didn't look like he was going to miss. He looked like a machine. Kicks this one as well. 12 points to 3. Only 30 minutes into the game, right? 2 minutes later, there was a 25-meter attacking line-out for the Lions, okay? Get this. Lions had an opportunity to attack 25 meters out. Great spot. Could easily get, penalty or something. The line-out is called. They throw it in. Nobody jumped up. And South Africa jumped. South Africa jumps up, and Eben Itzebeth reaches out and he knocks on the ball. So the Lions got the ball back, luckily, but nobody jumped. Really poor line out. And then, so that turned into a scrum, right? Then this time scrum, the Springboks finally were under a lot of pressure for this one. The tight head, Ty Furlong, just basically lifted up both the hooker and the loose head prop. Loose head prop for South Africa is Onks Inch. So he lifted up both of them with Tom Curry also coming in from the side, lifting up he was literally like a fourth prop. He linked himself up all the way to the prop, lifting up the Onks Inch. And it's like, surely that's illegal. even the commentators were like, this is illegal. And the referee's like, nah, the South African scrum, was folded, basically. Full on penalty. And yeah, it was really poor referee. That should have been illegal. You can't lift the player off the ground with your bloody open side flanker linked up into the tight head prop, next to the tight head prop. It was so weird. And even Sia Khaleesi was like trying to pull his own prop down. It was so weird. But anyway, referee says that was a penalty. So this was a 30 minutes out, 15 minutes in, quite an easy kick actually. And Dan Bigger missed. Really having a bad game in the first half for sure. 37th minute, there was a high tackle on, again, okay, get this, the game played on, okay, so there was a penalty by the, to play it on for a bit, there was a penalty by the referee for, I think it was for, like, the game was basically played on, and it was like, the South Africa, the Lions were basically like inside the South African 22, and the referee's like, and then like the game stopped, and the referee's like, okay, the TMO saying there's a penalty. So the referee goes, okay, there's a penalty here for a high shouted shot. So everybody's confused at what the high shot is. And then the referee's like, oh, hang on. And so like Bigger is like getting ready to kick. And the referee's like, oh, hang on. The penalty's actually way back in the 50-meter line. So it was like something happened like a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, a high shot to Alan Wynne-Jones. So then the referee says, okay, sorry, the kick is not here actually, not like, 25 meters out. The kick is actually 50 meters out on the 50-meter line. So they went all the way back to the 50-meter line, and then they showed the replay. So it took them really long time to get a replay. It was just massive confusion everywhere. And then it was a penalty. It was a high shot, very gently. And then instead of Bigger kicking, they had Elliot Daly kicking, and he missed anyway. So that was missed. On the 39th minute, finally the Lions made a nice break. Henshaw managed to sneak through around the 40-meter line. Sneaks through. He ran all the way from the 40-meter, like inside the Springbok half, to the 22. Inside the 22. It looked like he can link up. He could have been a try. So he tries to offload, and he knocks on the ball. He almost got it off, knocks on the ball. And then there was basically, now this 40 minutes, time is up. There was a scrum. And so you think that Springboks just want to get the ball out and out. So scrum happens. The loose head, Sutherland, gets penalized for hinging. And then the Springboks like, all right, and then referee's like, all right, do you want to kick the ball out for penalty, or do you want to play the penalty? The time is up. You penalty, or you want to go for a line out. The Springboks like, all right, we'll go for a line out. So they actually kicked the ball out just before halftime for a line out. But the line out comes in. They try to milk a penalty. Didn't happen. Halftime, 12 points to 3. So Sutherland really had some struggle in the first half in the scrums. Ty Furlong held sturdy for his part of the game. But yeah, the lineouts were awful. Oh, and there was one bit I missed out, okay? There was one bit of lineout where there was a huge gap. Imagine there was a Lions lineout. They left a huge gap. So the Springboks push up to the mark, and the referee comes up and goes, yeah, move out. You need this, this is the mark, you need to step away from the mark. So as the referee is telling the Springboks move out, the Lions decides to do a quick throw. So the Cowan Dickey throws the ball to, I think, Sutherland at the front position, right? And he forgot the fact that Sutherland has to take a step to the marker. So it was just like a straight sideways throw to Sutherland. And the referee turns around and is like, yeah, not straight. And they're both just like laughing and shaking their heads, like realizing how stupid that was. And they just lost one of the lineouts because they literally throw it in sideways. And like, because they try to play some mind games with the referee telling the South Africans to open a gap. And they messed that up. So that was really, really poor first half for the Lions. Anyway, second half starts. The Lions kicks into gear. Okay? Right away, there was a penalty against the Springboks. And then there was some kickable range inside the Springboks half. They opted for a line out. It was 12 meters, kicks out 12 meters line. They throw the line out and it sets up the more. The more fell apart. But the Lions were able to retain the ball, start attacking, just like nice little run ball, putting pressure on, getting really close, about 5 meters out, right in center field. There was finally too much pressure. South Africa gave a penalty for a high tackle, and eventually the ball was lost. And then the Lions goes, this is a very kickable spot. Lions goes, nah, we're gonna score a try here. So they kick the ball out for another 5 meter line out, and once again they set up for more. And this time the more is set up really well going forward. The backs join, the more pushes over, goes in for a try. You look like the try scorer. You look like he knocked on, okay? Cowan Dickey. He looked like he knocked on. Because he like on the ground, he was rolling, and the ball was like off one hand. So they had a TMO review, but no footage came up. No one saw anything. And then the referee's like, yeah, try's good. And you're just like, what the hell happened? Like, there was a TMO review and nothing came up. And then the referee says he's fine. And then the game like played on. And then as they're about to do the kickoff, then they show the replay. Like, he almost knocked on. And it was like, yeah, really fishy. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, maybe it was like really questionable TMO there. Like, you look like he almost knocked on. And there was no like, and also you could look like you might have been short. Okay, so no one knows what happened. The TMO didn't show anything and just said it was good. And then they showed that everything after the thing was on, and it looked a little bit fishy. So I'm not too sure what the hell's going on there. So, but anyway, they gets in the try. Bigger nails his kick. The game's back on 12 points to 10 straight away after the kickoff. Basically, took a few minutes to get there, but they got there eventually for the Lions. A minute later from this try scored at a 45 minute, it looks like the Springboks almost scored a try here. Okay, so basically there was let me see what happened here. Yeah, so basically Lukamu got the ball in the wing. He managed to find a breakthrough, and he ran through. He was 45 meters out from the try line. He kicks the ball through. So first of all, Delende got the ball, right? He ran and he ran and draw the defender, and he threw the pass to Lukamu on the wing. He got a high ball kick. He got a high ball kick. So, okay, no. He got a high ball kick from his own teammate, Andre Pollard. So Andre Pollard tried to do a crossfield kick or something. He caught it on the crossfield kick, and then he ran, draw and pass to Lukamu. Looked very forward. Lukamu runs through. He was about to get tackled. He kicks the ball downfield, and then Villaroo gets it first, grounds the ball. Looked like a try. So there was two things I had to look at: whether it was a forward pass and whether Villaroo was in front of the kicker, right? So the referee showed the replay of the forward pass. Very obviously forward. I don't know how you can say it was so blatantly forward. The hands came out forward. You can see from the direction the hands fit. The hands came out forward, and the player, you can see it was caught the ball forward like this, right? You can see it's forward because he's literally turned and faced backwards to catch the ball. So he was obvious forward, and the referee says, "Nah, I'm happy with that," with the South African accent, and you're like, "Oh my god, is he gonna give this try?" And then he sees the exact same angle, right? Keep in mind, this is the exact same angle where Lukamu receives the ball from so Lukamu receives the ball from, imagine, I don't know how to explain this. Lukamu receives the ball from Delende, and he kicks the ball. Villaroo basically standing at the same spot where Delende was, right? So it's the exact same camera angle when he kicked the ball, and Villaroo definitely looked like he was a little bit forward, but like 50-50, right? Looked like he was probably closer to not being forward than the forward pass, okay? So the referee goes, yeah, that's forward. He's offside. Penalty. Like, what? The forward pass could have overridden the penalty, right? Because the forward pass happened first. The referee said the forward pass was fine, but the penalty, but Villaroo was offside, so it was penalty. Like, really, really questionable refereeing here. Okay, I have no idea what the hell is going on. The same camera angle as well. It was just really, really bizarre. They try to justify this, like they did a lot of effort to justify the penalty, and they didn't really do anything about the forward pass. They just looked at once and says, "Yep, not forward pass," when it was clearly forward pass. Man, it was really poor ref. Fire this TMO. Who is this TMO? It was awful. And anyway, the Lions got a penalty out of that. Whatever. Few minutes later, there was a scrum, and then there was a very solid scrum for both teams. Oh, by the way, in the second half, the Springboks completely changed their front rowers. So the World Cup winning front rowers, Malherbe, Malcolm Marks, and Hitsoff is on. And I was expecting them to be like really impactful, but yeah, they didn't look like, they didn't actually look, they looked more looked steadier, but it didn't look like they were much better than the guys in the first half. In fact, yeah, I don't know if they're actually better than, maybe, yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, let me know what you think. But I did think that the Springboks reserves scrum props front rowers did slightly worse than the front rowers in the first half than Oxnish and Trevor Nyanke. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. You let me know what you think. And similarly with the British and Irish Lions, I thought Ty Furlong did good, but Sutherland was definitely a bit poor in the first half, and Sinclair and Vinopola did much better in the second half, in my opinion. Scrum was steadier, tight hair win. Yeah, let me know. And then, so that was a steady scrum, but it didn't really, I didn't go quite as I expected. 2 minutes after that, South Africa strikes back with their first try, right? So, and this was a really poor TMO. So basically, Pieter-Steph du Toit finds a gap just inside the Springboks half. He runs through, he passes the ball to Mapimpi on his wing. Mapimpi runs down the field. Again, he gets, fullback sweeps across. He kicks over the fullback, and then Pieter-Steph du Toit was chasing. He looked like he tried to catch the ball off the bootlaces. It looked like he knocked on the ball and bounced off his heel. And then Mapimpi recovers. He runs in over the try line. He's literally trying to ground the ball as he's getting held up, right? As he's getting goes over the ball and he gets held up. And then he turns around, pops the ball back to Faf de Klerk. Faf de Klerk grounds the ball, okay? And then they had a look, okay? Again, this TMO didn't show any footage. He showed one angle where Pieter-Steph du Toit looked like he dropped the ball and hit his heel. And he just went, yep, that's good. No knock on. Try. I don't know what the hell is happening with this referee. It's so bad. And then a few minutes later, and then this one, the conversion was missed. So South Africa still ahead, 17 points to 10. A few minutes later, there was a really nice tackle and really nice tackle on Alan Wynne-Jones. And Alan Wynne-Jones was on his knees, and the referee was like, let him go. And Kawaga Smith had his hands on the ball, right? He just ripped the ball out. That should have been a rip. And the referee goes, nah, you should have let him go because his knee was on the ground when I called it. Again, really poor referee. And this was inside the Lions half. So, so Bigger gets another kick, takes 3 points back. Really poor, he had his hands on the ball. Wynne-Jones, 1 foot touches the ground, and he rips the ball out, and the referee goes, nah, I told you to let him go, it was a tackle. Yeah, it was really, really poor. So Kawaga Smith get penalized for that. 3 points back for the Lions, 17 points to 13. 1 minute later, the Lions were on the attack again, right? And there was, so they kind of received the ball in their own half, and they were happy to run the ball. Instead of just kicking it, they were happy to run. And according to laws, actually ran 20-something meters into the Springbok half. Eventually, the Lions ended up just outside the Springboks 22, partying on pressure once again. And eventually, number 11, Mapimpi, was caught offside. right in front, 22 meters out, and Lions kick another 3. And this offside was caught in by the referee on the side. Nick Berry had no idea, and they were just like, oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, okay, offside, yeah. Just this. Anyway, and then after this, so Bigger kicks another 3 right in front, 17 points to 16. And then a few minutes, 56th minute, Marco Vinopoulos on for a scrum, as there was a knock on, so it was a scrum. So Maka gets on for this fresh leg scrum, and Kitshoff looked shaky in the scrum, but like no penalty was given, and Furlong is still on the field. So wait, no. What happened here? Yeah, look shaky against Mako, and actually Mako bored in on him. Is this the one? Yeah, Mako actually like bored in on him and got a penalty for the Lions for the scrum as soon as he got onto the field for Furlong. Really, really impressive. Really showed that he deserved to be in the starting team. So him and Sinclair was on the English front rowers are on. Straight away got a penalty. And then, so on the 59th minute, okay. So the Lions had a strategy all game where they're just kicking high balls to Cheslin Kobe. And Cheslin really had a struggle this game for catching those high balls. He dropped the high ball so many times. And this time he had both Henshaw and Murphy chasing the ball on him. And then he was basically too short to catch the ball out of 2 guys that were taller than him. Henshaw gets his hand on the ball and he knocks on the ball forward, and Murphy caught it. It looked like Murphy wasn't going for a try. Referee calls everyone back, says, nah, there was a knock forward. So basically, the referee let the game played on, and all the Springboks were protesting. And then once again, another referee on the sideline called Nick Berry, said there was a knock on. And then Nick Berry goes, all right, hang on, come back. Was knock on. Murphy almost scored here. And yeah, it was really, really, really poor. But anyway, that... anyway, that, and so anyway, the Lions gets the Springbok gets the line out, and they were, the scrum, and they were running the ball. They ran the ball outside of their own 22, and Faf de Klerk does a box kick, and the box kick looks like it's just about to go out. So Cheslin Kobe was chasing this. He gets up, catches this ball, okay? He lands with 1 foot in field, and then he gets pushed out. And the referee goes, yeah, that's out on a full. Despite the fact that he landed 1 foot in field and then get pushed out. And then the fact that Faf de Klerk kicked it outside of 22, it was a line out for the Lions just outside of 22 for the Springbok side. Really bad, and this was a game changer here, okay? Because this line out resulted in basically the Lions had a line out. Line out comes in they set it up for a maul. The Springboks collapse the maul. Penalty, 3 points. Really bad. And then 65 minutes in, and 65 minutes in, Farrell is on the field. 2 minutes later, Damien Delende rams his head into Bigger's stomach, and Bigger goes off for a stomach, and Owen Farrell moves to 10. Another big scrum for the Lions. Oh yeah, this is where Vinopola turns the scrum over. Sorry, not the one before. This is where Vinopola wins the scrum with Sinclair by his side over, and he just basically, bored in onto Malherbe, and scrum penalty against the Boks. Pretty bad. 67 minutes, and everyone's padding. I'm really tired. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Patting Vinopola on the back. Let's get this over. 71st minute. There was a really poor pass from Henshaw, and my kick Pimpy like gets his foot onto the poor pass, the ball like bounced on the ground, poor pass, kicks the ball all forward, and Pimpy starts chasing. Looked like he was held back by one of the Lions players. Delende gets there anyway. He jumps on the ball rolls into the goal area. I think it was not a chip forward again. It was not a kick. Delende gets there, jump in, try, right? And then the TMO rolls the footage like 3 minutes back where Cheslin Kobe was going out for high ball and he accidentally touched the ball and knocked on. Still, it's the right decision, but the knockdown should have been called before everything anyway. Really bad refereeing. And the 5 minutes later, on the 76th minute, there was another high ball and Herschel, like high ball from the Lions into the Springboks 22. Herschel, Yankees, jumps up, catches the ball inside the zone 22. I'm pretty sure he caught a mark, but he gets tackled anyway. And the Springboks had to get the ball back out, and they tried to do a clearance kick, and this kick wasn't that great. So you only went out to like the around 30 meters mark, goes out. So there was a line out comes back in for the Lions, just 30 meters out, and the Lions, they turned that into a maul, and Peter Siptutoy caught offside. Caught offside for the maul. Oren Farrell takes the tee, slots that. Lions 22, Springboks 7. And the Springboks look really like, Peter Siptutoy looked really unhappy. So from the kickoff, Springboks actually had an opportunity to win the game back. For the kickoff, Damien Valemsi actually gets there, catches the ball, wins the ball back for the Springboks. So with a minute left on the clock, the Springboks look like they could still do something. Keep in mind, this ball was caught in the 22-meter mark. And the Lions defense pushed the Springboks all the way back to their own 40. Not their own 40. To the 40-meter line. So like pushing back 20 meters. Eventually, Damien Delende were able to get back foot. The Springboks managed to push forward again. Eventually, Maori Toje strips the ball, turned the ball over. Lions kicked it out. Game over. 42 minutes. Oh my god, I might have to cut this before I actually post it. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'm going to go to bed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, next week. Thanks for watching.